It is said that in modern football, due to quick passes and high attacking tempo, there is a tendency for the build-up in the midfield to be processed quickly and rapidly reach the final third. Because of the strong pressure and congestion in the half space, it becomes challenging to attack this area. Therefore, a tactic to widen the build-up by spreading to both sides is used, aiming to disrupt the opponent team's balance and exploit the cracks in their defensive structure. As a result, the play of fullbacks and wingers is significantly important. Due to the emphasized importance of wings in both offense and defense, it is often said that teams that win have world-class fullbacks and wingers. In the game, while it's unclear whether game mechanics is designed to reflect this trend of modern football, you can observe in possession play that the default formation often places wingers widely on both sides. Players might sometimes ignore this concept when they prefer to play freely and attack the half space and the center. However, within the game, it can be relatively easier to defend when you have a numerical advantage in the congested half space and the center, whereas it can be more challenging to defend on the flanks, where situations for one-on-one matchups between the opponent's winger or fullback and defender are more common. I would like to talk about this briefly, how to attack and defend on the side in the game. When attacking the opponent's final third side, the body positioning of the winger or fullback is important. When facing a defender on the side, it is preferable to approach them frontally as much as possible in order to exploit 2 or 3 directions based on body positioning. If you predetermine the attack in one direction and dribble, the defender will find it relatively easier to set up their defending direction. In real football, you often see wingers approaching defenders head-on when attacking the sides. Its body structure, when you dribble towards the defender head-on, there are various options in dribbling direction you can choose. If the defender jockeys and backs off, his body structure is maintained stable, so is his center of gravity. However, to cope with rapid changes in direction, it takes time for the defender to adjust his center of gravity, so the winger can quickly change the direction and shake the defender's center of gravity and move forward. If the defender tackles, the winger might have a bigger opportunity to skip him past.
Good run down the right. Good spot, he's seen the run. Gets away from his opponents. Now it's Pedri. Oh, he's got a... tries a shot!
Here, Messi slightly adjusts his body structure toward the defender to face him directly. By doing this, he can have more options in dribbling direction. If defender commits tackle, it's better. Arnold also adjusts his body structure to face the defender and have a chance to skip him past. This can make the defender confused about the dribbling direction.
Oh, he's felt that, hasn't he? He's shifting through the gears here. Lovely bit of skill. Savvy.
Take a look at Sneijder's body structure and the positioning. There are 2 directional options available. You can either quickly dribble to the left with a sharp touch and run forward, or you can pass to a teammate on the right. However, if the body structure is set for a leftward dribbling, the opponent only needs to consider one direction, which can make it relatively easy to defend. Since Sneijder has good dribbling skills, I decided to observe the opponent's movement here and go for a dribble breakthrough. Also look at the circle around the dribbler. This will be mentioned once again in the next clips to be explained.
That's the job in a nutshell now. Now it's Pedri. And it's Iniesta.
If Guerreiro continues to move forward, the defender doesn't need to be confused. He can just try to catch up from the side. When the defender closes the distance, Guerreiro will be forced towards the sideline and his options for direction and dribbling will be limited. Therefore, I slightly turned Guerreiro to face the defender head-on and continue to dribble in the opposite direction of the defender's running. In front of Pedri, there is a lot of open space, but since it would take time for teammates to penetrate, I chose to face the defender head-on and break through with a dribble. Additionally, while looking at the defender's running body structure, you can see that he cannot easily and rapidly turn and catch up the dribbler if he is dribbled backwards, so I used the momentum to skip him past. Because Messi's ball control ability is so good, the ball won't drop from his foot when receiving it, unless you press Alt2. As there is some distance from the defender, the moment Messi received the ball, I immediately positioned his body to face the defender.
Could move up a gear here.
After receiving the ball, Saviola has managed to secure some distance from the defender. I set him up to face the defender and wait for him to approach. Take a look at the circle, whether it's an AI defender or a human controlling the matchup or press button. When the defender gets close to the circle, it was programmed to perform an automatic standing tackle. This allows you to take advantage of this moment to dribble through.
Always seem to come at the other end of the pitch. He's great at controlling the ball.
Take a look at the circle. When the defender approaches the circle closely, you should move the ball before the defender enters the circle. When you are running, if you kick the ball at a 45-degree angle at the defender's front, there is a possibility of skipping past the defender. But when you are standing still or dribbling slowly, it is better to kick the ball at a 90-degree angle at a defender's front. This is to avoid the defender's standing tackle range. Even if you move the ball at a 90-degree angle in version 2024, due to the improved ball control, ball retention, and faster follow-up motion, it is now possible to skip past the defender.
Alexander-Arnold. Messi.
There are variables depending on the approaching speed of the opponent, but if you get used to the circle range, you can learn the timing to control the ball and dribble through when the opponent gets close. Motion is good. It may not be visible in gameplay, but in the replay, you can see Messi scanning around before receiving the ball. In eFootball 2024, due to the increased speed of the follow-up action after inputting L2, it's easier to continue with consecutive dribbling actions. Guerrero creates space by sharp touch at a 90-degree angle, then confronts the opponent head-on. He dribbles past using finesse dribble and then faces the opponent and moves the ball at a 90-degree angle to skip past the defender. The range of the circle is always considered for ball control and dribbling. You can see the green color of the circle, even with L2 lightly pressed. By quickly inputting two movements with the left stick, you can trap the ball close to the player's foot. If you are confident in your dribbling skills, you can go for the breakthrough. However, if you are not, you can consider using the following tactic. By using L1 or R1 pass and go options, you can exploit empty spaces after passing.
Iniesta. Now it's Messi. Pedri.
Messi runs forward after L1 pass. Iniesta passes the ball to Messi. If Iniesta doesn't pass to Messi due to L1 pass, Messi will continue running straight along the sideline towards the opponent's final third. However, when Iniesta's pass is targeted towards Messi, Messi reacts to it and stops running. Controlling this trade of L1 and R1 pass and go is important in possession play.
Time, excellent interception. Pedri. Oh, it's a promising build-up, this. Plenty of really nice passing. And it's Iniesta. Guerrero. Schneider.
The attendance for this match was 71,550.
De Jong. No breakthrough and well into the second period. It is still anyone's game. So he's plotting something before playing it in. Alexander-Arnold. And it's Iniesta.
It's been a pretty abject performance. No efforts at goal. I'm struggling to remember the last time we had that.
No goals at this stage, but certainly not devoid of action. It is 0-0 here. Clear to see that he is not at all happy with that.
Encouraged the pass with an intelligent run, but the pass just lacked pace.
And it's Messi.
It can be more effective to execute pass and go after cutting in towards the inside. When you cut in, the opponent is forced to turn their body to follow, inevitably making a shift in the center of gravity and delaying the follow-up movement due to the body structure. By taking advantage of this, you can penetrate into the empty space and continue the next attack.
Messi. And it's Iniesta. Messi.
When Messi cuts in, the opponent is drawn towards Messi. It causes a shift in the opponent's center of gravity. At this moment, if you quickly start running after L1 pass, the opponent cannot easily catch up because it takes time for him to adjust his body structure and to shift his center of gravity in order to run in the opposite direction.
De Jong.
Here too, when Messi cuts in, the opponent is drawn towards him. When Messi quickly changes direction and runs forward after L1 pass, the opponent cannot immediately catch up because he needs time to adjust his body structure and to shift his center of gravity to follow. When you defend on the side, the position of the defender is also important. In the opponent's final third, it is advantageous to stand slightly diagonally to the opponent. This is to better respond to opponent who might move in both directions. By positioning yourself slightly behind and diagonally when they move on the side, you have an advantage in speed and timing when catching up with the running opponent. If you stand in a straight line, defender's space behind can be exposed and exploited by the opponent's through pass. However, if you are confident in defending and using a good defender with good speed, you can drive the opponent to the side, limiting his attacking options in direction.
Luca Bacchio in acres of space out wide.
Take a look at Pavard's position. He positions himself in a diagonal line with the opponent in relation to the goalpost. There is enough time and distance to respond when the opponent runs either to the left or to the right.
Now it's Luca Bacchio. Oh, he's trying to skip past his man.
Look at Arnold's positioning. He is standing diagonally. There is enough time and distance for him to catch up when the opponent runs.
Positional gold, the utilization of space.
That's very neat. Ocampos. Now it's Lamela.
Take a look at the circle and arrow around the Pedri. Looking at the arrow, you can see that the input is directed backwards. Too much distance shouldn't be allowed, so I use the press button to close the distance. The press button input takes precedence over all other inputs. This can also be used in psychological duel, even in person-to-person match. By pretending to dash with the press button and then releasing it when the opponent falls for it and starts to run in one direction, you can quickly react in the direction you are already inputting. Looking at the arrow around the Pedri, you can see that when I released the press button, Pedri immediately moved in the direction I was inputting. In the half space and in front of the goal, it's not necessary to form a diagonal line. What's important is to control the body structure and maintain the distance. Here, you can simply use the basic defending controls that was dealt with in the last clip. When dealing with an opponent with good dribble skills on the side, if you don't pay attention to body structure, speed and positioning, you may allow dribble breakthroughs or dangerous passes. Pedri is continuously positioning diagonally to defend against the side attack. While I could close the distance when the opponent was running into the open space on the side using the press button, I didn't close the distance yet as there were no opponents ready to receive the cross for a header.
Talent too. I mean, he can penetrate defensive lines with ease, and he does it all with such elegance.
I quickly closed the distance using the press button before the ball reached the opponent. At the moment of the opponent receiving the ball, Guerreiro is slightly pulling back and positioning himself diagonally. The opponent touched the ball hard, causing it to drop off his feet. When the ball was approaching the circle, I pressed the press button to attempt a sliding tackle. The circle represents the range where I can protect the ball from the opponent's standing tackle during dribbling or controlling the ball. Conversely, in defense, it indicates the range where the defender can attempt a tackle to steal the ball.
Good driving run.
Take a look at De Jong's circle and arrow. At the moment when the input was directed towards the side, he slightly moved forward. This is a press button input. Since the opponent started to run in the opposite direction of the input, I quickly released the press button and input the left stick in the backward direction to prevent the body from turning or getting caught in inertia, and immediately pressed the matchup button and Alt2 to chase quickly. Because I was holding down the matchup button, I was able to cut off the shot.
Pinches it off him. And that is as far as they're going to go. Plays a delicate ball.
Look, movement creates more options, and that was really sharp.
There are no set rules. However, it's not advisable to stand diagonally from this line and beyond. Considering the distance and the time the opponent can run to the left or to the right, it's clear that you should confront the opponent head-on. Nevertheless, there are no fixed rules.
Sells up for the counter-attack here, Peter, and he is very good at that type of thing.
Brooks. And he welcomes him. He's having a shot! He's had a fair tumble under that challenge.
Iniesta was a bit late to apply pressure. He is positioning diagonally. The opponent is moving sideways, parallel to the goalpost. De Jong is also positioning himself diagonally. Pedri is running parallel to the opponent. In fact, even in real football, in a one-on-one situation in front of the goal, it's not easy for a defender to mark an attacker running parallel to the goal. At this point, it can be helpful to defend by trying to drive the opponent towards a teammate rather than trying to steal the ball.
5 minutes has been indicated.
Bailey.
We can see a good example of a combination of a pre-input and press button here. The direction of Arnold's movement and arrow input do not exactly match. While closing the distance with the press button, I'm also expecting for the opponent to run into the open space. There is a slight temporal delay in the input and arrow indication, but observe the momentary change in Arnold's body structure, especially the direction of his knees due to the pre-input. You can see that he immediately takes the direction to his right when I release the press button. Look at the direction the opponent kicks the ball. If Arnold had stopped at this point or kept pressing, he would have been skipped past on his left. What's interesting is the moment when the dribbler kicks the ball. Look at Arnold's body. His center of gravity falls on his right foot. In real football at this moment, if the dribbler kicks the ball towards Arnold's left, he won't be able to easily stretch out his leg or catch up due to the center of gravity shifted. It could be coincidental or it could be an exaggeration, but I find it intriguing to see that elements such as body structure, weight distribution, and inertia that have been emphasized and invested in for a long time for a one-on-one dual concept in eFootball version 09 still seem to remain and relevant in current version. By making Arnold slightly draw back in the direction of a pre-input, I was able to create temporal and spatial leeway to cope with the opponent's change of direction.
Wins back the ball. De Arrascaeta played out towards the right wing. Looks to the other side. Bruno Henrique. Good spot, he's seen the run. Now it's Bruno Henrique. And the shot! It's run loose. Who's going to get? We'll look about them here.
Spot on, Peter. Red.
Played out to the left flank. Bruno Henrique. Now has he got the beating of his marker here? Gets his pass away. Now it's Bruno Henrique. Back into the middle. Gets to show off his quick feet.